Our holiday season is off. Like that, just like that. We had Halloween weekend this past weekend. Still going on, I guess. I guess some of you are probably doing like trunk or treat and stuff like that on a Sunday afternoon with your little ones. I was at a holiday party last night. A real rager. Thank you. Thank you to all my friends. Pics will come out later. But yeah, my holiday season has kicked off full blast. And that means more and more and more gatherings with friends, more and more holiday parties, holiday foods, and just being surrounded by loads of temptation, which is really tough. So, all right, thank goodness fasting season has also kicked off. And this is part of the reason we all love the holiday fasting season because we stick together through in between all those festive parties, right? So, all right, if you're tuning in, and this week we had our first fast. So we have loads of fasters, loads of new fasters, even people who are new to me who haven't even been low carbers with me. So as you know, I teach year round all kinds of different lessons for staying on track with your health. And fasting just happens to be the thing that we're doing now. This is the last day that I'm going to talk about it because we're starting to enter the season where I'm going to start to talk to you guys about Jumpstart more and more. So if you're joining me here, please drop your name in the chat. You know, when I'm done talking today, I'm going to give away a $25 gift card for Amazon. And for those of you that are listening to the replay, listen to the end because I'm going to give you a little instruction about how you might win money later by listening all day. So, all right, we're going to talk about fasting just a little bit more today because we just had our first fast. Tons of people joined us, some for the first time. Some got a big like, whoa, this is crazy. And some discovered a lot of really fun stuff. So we'll talk about that today. We got tons and tons of tips to share with you from even just one fast. I look back and I counted up like 30 tips and I wrote them down. I said live and unscripted, but I got a little bit of a script because I wrote down a lot of the tips that we went through with just this one fast. And we're going to do 6 of them this season. So I have a lot to teach you about fasting, how to make it easier, how to be more successful, and just learning about the benefit of being with a team because we do this every season and it's really fun to come together for all different reasons. This season, we come together specifically to stay on track during the holidays, which is really tough for all of us. So, all right. Let's get into it. What did we learn? I have people, hey, if you're listening to this and you haven't joined us, you can still jump on. We've only been through one, and some of us are like really busy with already wanting to learn to do it again. So I actually have some of the teams that are going to kick in and do it again today. So there'll be fasting going on in these teams and healthy talk and exercise and just teamwork the entire season. So if you feel like you're alone out there and you can't get on track this season or you have no motivation, join the team just to get going with a better way of thinking and comfort to your brain, right? Our brain always wants the 3 things. I always say this. Our brain always wants to be fed, number 1, to be happy, number 2. Those things are easy. Like, you know what? A cookie will do both, right? But number 3, your brain wants safety. And there's safety in numbers. So when you join up with a healthy team, it just makes it easier for you to be on track and be healthy. All right. Hey guys, I see you out there listening. Thanks for joining this morning. All right, let's get right into it with the 30 tips. All right. And I'm going to go through these rapid fire because there's a lot. We learn a lot together. These are the things that were sort of scripted. If you're in my teams, you realize that there's a lot of education that's automatic. So you're going to get the automatic education. But it's interactive. So you can ask questions anytime and you're going to learn a ton from your teammates just from the practical things that they know about how to make things easier. And you're going to learn from me as well. If I see some sciencey talk out there and somebody has some really specific question about something scientific or some sort of medicine or something, you know that I'll get on board and I'll chime in. But if you're just asking about what to do next, your teammates all have all the answers. So you're going to get lots of answers. So you'll learn, yes, 30 things, but I think out there we probably learned something like 60 to 100 things in our teams. All right, number 1, fasting is the quickest way to heal and sculpt your body. Yes, we knew that. Okay, we knew that going in. That's why we joined. The timing of your fast changes your experience. This is something that Ann got really interested in. Ann's going to be fasting with me again today. But you know this, that there's that little bit of a sticky period during every fast. And if you can time that to be sleeping during that period, thumbs up to you. You found out one of the secrets of fasting. That's one of the easiest ways of getting through a fast, especially as a beginner. Okay. Um, we use our prep days to nourish our body. So when you join the fasting team, we're not just learning about what not to eat and how not to eat. We learn what to eat before the fast and also how to recover following a fast. So we're getting rid of the junk and getting rid of the fat, and we're rebuilding our bodies strong. That's what we're doing here. Okay, our recovery days are the days that we replenish best with best nutrients. So we talk all about that. Being a low carber makes this easier. So some of you, you're going to hear me talk about that more and more as we're headed towards jumpstart with these fasts. Being low carb every day makes this easier. And why is that? Because we jump to the fat burn, we jump to the ketone zone a lot quicker than you guys who aren't doing that every day. And once you start to burn that fat, fat is the perfect fuel, and fat gives you all the energy, right? So it makes you feel great. So if you can get there faster, that's a goal. That's a super goal. Okay. If you're joining, hey, if you're here and you're listening, put your name in the chat. Make sure. I'm going to get to you guys at the end, but I'm going to keep going through these rapid fire. Okay. Practicing intermittent fasting makes this easier. Why is that? Because you're not battling all the habit of getting food constantly. And fasting is about, number one, breaking habit, but also that clock hunger. That clock hunger is the biggest habit of all. So if you can practice some intermittent fasting, start doing those at all different times. Sometimes eat in the morning, sometimes eat at night, sometimes eat in the afternoon. You break that pattern, and when you want to do one of these prolonged fasts, it makes it so much easier, okay? So you can start to do that as you head closer and closer to that next fast to make it easier. Go lower with the sugar. Start doing some intermittent fasting during your days, and next time it'll get easier. Okay, having a positive mindset is critical. Okay, somebody out there named Joanne, who's really interested in this fasting but hasn't jumped on board, sent me an Instagram about someone who was spouting off about the myth that this is not safe, that it might slow down your metabolism, using a lot of big scientific words to scare you off and telling you, oh, you have to have blood work to make this safe. Not everyone can do this. This is a myth. Anyone can do fasting. Our bodies are built for it. Our bodies are built for this, okay? Think about hundreds of years ago. What's going on during this season hundreds of years ago? People were fattening up on purpose. That's why we have these feast days. That's why we have these gathering days, right? Winter is coming, the time when there's no food. Our bodies were built to make it through that period. And you know what? If you go through feasting season just fattening up, and then you don't have any fasting going on afterwards, you're just going to continue to fatten up, right? That's why come January, everyone feels like, oh my God, I got to do something. But that something usually lasts for a week or two. What we learn here in fasting, you can use for your entire life. And you can always join us season after season to stay on track and to be well. So fasting is a mindset. It's critical. Once you start thinking about, I'm afraid or I'm unsure, your brain will kick you right out of it, all right? Because you always think that you're capable of making great choices for yourself, but that capability happens in about 5% of your brain. And the other 95% of your brain is what actually is making you do the things that you do and just grabbing food constantly and telling you that you need that. So yeah, this is why we're on a team, because I'm over here going, hey, bright and shiny over here. This is what we're doing. Okay. Don't pay attention to the hunger. Hunger waves come and go. I'm sure that's in here too, right? All right, let's go. Let's keep going. Don't expect others to know about what you're doing. Sharon ran into this week. I know we were just talking about how hysterical this was. I had one of my super fasters, Sharon, with a beginner faster. They worked together, and her beginner faster decided during a lunch meeting that she was going to tell everybody that they were fasting. And threw Sharon under the bus just like that. And you guys that are regular fasters know that is the kiss of death, because you have 100 people in the room suddenly go, oh my God, you're doing that. And it shakes you. Honestly, it makes you feel like, oh my God, maybe I shouldn't be doing this. Okay. When you're doing fasting, you stick with your fasters. You stick with your fasting team and pay attention to nobody else, because they'll scare you into thinking that you're doing something bad for yourself when in fact, it's just the opposite. So I feel for you, Sharon. That was a hysterical story. Okay. Cook ahead to get rid of the perishables. You never want to feel like you're wasting food, right? Don't give your brain reasons to throw you off. Stay away from food or drink, even pictures of food or drink when you're fasting. Stay away from commercials, stay away from magazines, stay away from the scroll, right? It's amazing how many people are taking pictures of food and you don't realize it until you're fasting. Make sure you're including salt. We talked all about broth and wet broth and pickle juice and all sorts of reasons. We talked about staying away from bone broth, right? Because too many calories in bone broth. Bone broth is wonderful because it contains a lot of healthy fat, but we don't want those fat calories during our fast. We don't want to put in fat. We're trying to get rid of the fat, right? So you don't want to do that during a fast. Tea and coffee can be included, but these dehydrate us, right? They're diuretics. They make us pee. So you got to be drinking water. If you're going to include tea and coffee, you got to drink more water and make sure that you're including some of the salt. We talked a lot about Halloween this time. So that's part of the fasting fun during the holidays, is that we're going to continue to talk about how we're surviving each holiday as well. So some of the fun of doing the holiday fasting team is that we talk all about the holidays and how to get through each holiday, how to get to parties, what to bring to parties, and how to think about those situations. All right. Staying busy physically and mentally is a must during a fast, right? Also, this is one of those small things, but there's no whining during a fast. There's no whining. This is a positive space. It's a healing space. If you come into it with the whining, you're going to kick yourself off and you're going to wreck it for your teammates, right? So as a team, this is another reason why the teammates are the magic with the fasting, right? We keep each other positive. We make sure that we're staying in that space where we know that we're headed into the energy zone, right? Into the space where we can all think clearly, where we get motivated, where we get things done, where we feel awesome. So, and we keep our teammates focused on heading into that space. There's no whining in our fasting groups. Okay. Dressing in layers is a must. We know that we get cold and that we must dress warm for our immune system. So we talked all about that. I think last weekend we talked about that, right? Like how important it is to stay warm, to keep your body at 98.5, because that's where we function best. And if you're in the fast for that autophagy, right? The healing of your body, the healing of disease, the disease reversal. If that's why you're here in this fast, you need that autophagy to be working at 98.5. That's where your body works best. That's where your immune system works best. And part of autophagy is your immune system cleaning up all the junk cells, right? All right. So stay warm, people. Stay warm. Hunger waves do not grow in amplitude. Get distracted, they simply go away, right? Clock hunger and habitual eating are our main obstacles. Those are the main things that we're battling. So those are the things we focus on. As soon as they come up, we get distracted and we do things. Walking, one of the best distractions. Why is that? Because your brain, it's so easy to trick your brain. So easy. If you get up and walk, your brain thinks, oh, okay, she's headed towards food. Oh, okay, it must be, it's obvious to me that she must be going to get us some food, right? So the hunger waves, they decrease in amplitude when you just get yourself walking, right? And you find your energy. Sometimes it's counterintuitive because you don't feel like doing anything, but if you get up and go, you feel a lot better, a lot faster. All right. I'm going to stop. I'm through like 20 of the tips. I got a few more. So I'm going to keep going. There's a ton that we learn every single time together, and it's so much fun. If you're listening now or you're tuning in, put your name in the chat. Let me know where you're tuning in from. Let me know if you're dressing up this weekend and what you were. I will send pictures of myself later. It won't be a surprise what I was. All right. Let's see. Where was I? Fasting is way easier with team support. We all learned that, so I'm not gonna beat the horse on that one. There's no failed fast. There's no fasting failures, right? Everybody comes in going, oh my God, I don't know how to do this, and I'm not gonna get it right, and I'm gonna feel terrible. No, that's not that's not what happens on our teams. You get full support to fast as long as you want to. You want to do 8 hours, you want to do 10 hours, you want to do 20, fine. If you come in with goals of like, I want to try a 2-day fast or maybe a 3-day fast, you're going to find people that will be more than happy to support you through that on a fasting team, because all of us that are experts have done the 3-day fast. That's where we get to Twilight Zone. That's a whole other discussion. We'll talk about that another time. All right. Some of the goals that we all achieved during our fast, right? Better skin, clearer skin, better energy, better mood. Better energy reminds me of Carrie. Okay, Carrie was one of our new fasters. And on the third day, she made it through 2 overnights, you guys. And on the third day, she's a kindergarten teacher. She was like, holy cow, I have so much energy. This is bizarre. And my kindergarten kids are like, wow, Mrs. Miller is crazy today. I love that story, Carrie. That just goes to show you, right, Joanne, if you're listening to me today, that person who was telling you that your metabolism falls off during fasting, any one of my fasters will tell you that is not what's happening. We are getting ramped up. The energy is coming like full force. By the time you get into those ketones, you know it because you can't slow down. And if you have that to-do list, you're zooming through it. That is not what happens with a person who has zero metabolism happening, right? Our metabolism is full tilt, and that's one of the things in these future fasts that we're gonna talk a lot about. Just learning how to harness what happens with that energy and use that metabolism to your advantage. So anyone that's trying to scare you that you cannot fast, that your body's not built for it, that it slows down your metabolism is 1,000% wrong. And maybe has never fasted. Maybe has never felt it. All right. I got a hair here somewhere, you guys. I can't find it. It's in my face. I can't find it. All right. Fasting can help reverse metabolic syndrome. So if somebody told you have metabolic syndrome, you have no idea what that is. That's a combination of being overweight, maybe have a little bit of high blood pressure, maybe it's creeping up, maybe your cholesterol doesn't look so great, maybe your doctor's telling you maybe you need to eat differently. Maybe you're pre-diabetic, maybe you've been told that you know if you don't change things, you're going to have diabetes within a number of years. Those are all metabolic syndrome. If you're tired, fatigued, you don't know why, metabolic syndrome. If you're feeling depressed, you can't get up and go, metabolic syndrome, right? This is all the stuff that fasting can reverse. I heard from Beth this morning. I gotta share this, Beth. I know she wrote, I get some very personal notes dropped in my mailbox sometimes, and I don't share everything with you guys. I know I share all the like crazy magic of people losing 100 pounds, and that's really exciting. But sometimes I get these really tender notes, and Beth shared with me that after this last fast, she found herself shopping in the mall, and she said, and suddenly I just realized I was happy. Like for the first time in years, I was just happy for no reason. That's amazing. And that's what we experience. And we talk about that a lot as fasters. Like on that day when we wake up and we haven't eaten the day before, we wake up and we're like, wow, I just feel great. I don't even know why, but we do know why. And that's why we continue this. Fasting is a natural antidepressant. It gives us a lift and it helps us continue on with all of our best goals, not just our healthy goals, but every other goal in life, right? All right. Next. Over time, fasting can improve insomnia. Did you guys know that? Yeah, that's one of the reasons I did it because I was a shift worker and I had a crazy sleep cycle and I couldn't get my sleep right. So the more you do fasting and incorporate it, the more it starts getting your sleep cycles because it starts correcting those hormones and your sleep cycles correct. So a lot of fasters out there do this to get that best sleep ever. We call it the fasting sleep. It's the deepest sleep, the most lovely sleep, the dreamiest sleep ever. So a lot of us do it for that reason. Best way to flatten your tummy, of course. Yeah, Cindy said that and discovered that. Best way. So today my tummy's all upset because I was at a Halloween party last night and I don't know what I did. Uh, I do know what I did, but I'm not going to tell you guys yet. I need to get fasting again to get back on track. My tummy is all out of whack. Fasting makes real food nourishment taste better. Yes. So the more you fast, the more you realize, oh my God, my natural good food that grows in the ground does taste delicious. And when you're eating day in and day out, hour to hour, constantly with the sugar, you make that stuff taste like nothing. And that's why your body doesn't love the real foods. When you're a faster, you fasted for a while, you put some broccoli in front of me, all of a sudden that broccoli tastes slamming. Okay. So it's the best way to connect yourself with the real rescue foods, the things that you should be eating and nourishing your body with. And it makes them taste delicious. You can't wait to dive in. Okay, and then last tip. I don't know if I'm up to 30. I don't know if I've shared 60. I swear to God, I don't know. but there's a lot that we learn in fasting, and there's a lot that we learn through fasting every time. Fasting helps us think about the others around us who have less. It makes us more altruistic. We start thinking about what do other people feel like when they can't get food, can't get drink, don't have nourishment every day. We start thinking about others. So fasting over time makes us more and more altruistic. We love it. All right. I hope you guys are loving fasting. I am going to check in on what's going on my feed here because I've been seeing a lot of names slip by. I'm going to write you guys all down. Okay, I see Monica. I see Ann. I see Sharon. Okay, well, when we're gonna do this drawing, while I'm writing your names down, I want you guys to tell me something that you learned today just from listening in. If and listen, if you're on the replay, I want you to tell me from listening today. Hey, I see Linda. Linda just joined us in fasting today, so it's not too late, you guys. If you want to join us today, you can jump in, and we'll be more than happy to catch you up with what's been going on. We'll be more than happy to practice a fast with you. If you want to do the first one, do the first education fast. We're more than happy to do it again with you. We can even replay all the magic that was going on for you. And then you'll be ready to go with us when that November 3rd fast comes along. So if you want to join us, if you want to be with the team, it is so fun to be with our team, you guys. So I'm more than happy to have anyone jump in today. If you're not sure how to do that, there's a link at the top for fasting. I will include it in the comments. And, if you have a friend that wants to join, if you've been doing this and you're like, oh my God, this has been the bomb. This has been what I needed forever and ever. If you've been doing it with us and you have a friend that's out there that you think might want to join us, please you connect them with this today. Send them this live link today, and they can win money later. So all you have to do to win money later is comment something that you learned from what I said today. So put your name, tell us where you're at, and comment something that you learned. If you tell me something that you learned, I'm going to put you in for that $25 gift certificate. Okay, this morning I have Monica, I have Sharon, I have Fran, Linda, Jennifer, Megan, Alyssa, Allison, Sherry. Who else did I say? Diane, I got you. Jamie, I got you. Okay. All right, here we go, you guys. We're going to do the $25 right now. You've been listening long enough. Thanks for hanging in there, friends. Okay, ready? I'm doing it like this. Pen goes down, and see who I got. I got Megan. Hey, Megan. Thanks for listening in, friend. You just won $25. All right. I will send that off to you guys. Thanks for tuning in. And next time, we're going to start to talk about Jumpstart. We're going to start to talk about low carb because that Jumpstart program I've been building that for the last 6 months, and it's big, and it's going to be super fun. So I'm going to start to tell you about that next time. All right. See you in the fasting teams, friends. And if you're not with us, join us. We're having a ball. Bye, guys.